What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations, and I'm the host of Epic Conversations, 2018 Innovation Award winner, 2020 Best Podcast News Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. I also co-host and co-produce the only online show in the world for dads, fathers, and male caregivers that's sponsored by Dove Men Plus Care. And being part of that movement, the team has reached out to over 500,000 dads, fathers, and male caregivers around the world. And as always, I'd like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And I'd like to say good morning on March 16th. So we're in the second half of March now. So we're in this, man, time is going by really fast. Really, really, really fast. But you know what? Let's enjoy every moment, every day, especially in this crazy world. You know what? Let me just do something for a second here. Hold on a second. Have to have some water. Just, throat was getting dry, so just get some. Get my look proper here. Okay, that's a little bit better. Looking disheveled here. Looking a little bit better. Okay, let's put this thing over here. Okay, there we go. That's a little bit better. Yes. So as always, good morning. March 16th, second half of March 2026. Things are flowing in their own usual way. And how was your weekend? Hope you had a good weekend here in Toronto. It got colder, and then last night the temperature went up, and it's not too bad this morning. Actually, one of the things that's happened over this winter, not a lot of sunshine. Like, as my dad would say, a lot of days of night. So what people say, what do you mean by that? Well, daytime, but it's just all dark. Well, that's okay. My weekend, had a great conversation with a couple yesterday. We chatted for about two hours, just chatting about different things, some serious, not so serious, and just hanging out, having good conversation. It was so rich. It was, again, it was like tonic. Really, really good time hang out with this couple, and actually going to send them a text message today saying really appreciated hanging out with them, and anything I can be to support them, we're there for them. Was really good. Really, really nice. Also did a show on Black Men Can Talk last night with one of the co-hosts, Kofi Sadat, and we talked about young Black people in education, which was a good conversation. And how important education, especially post-secondary education, is in the world today for young Black people. And hey, you can chime in the comments. Do you feel that, for young people today, is going to university or college still important? And I, during the conversation last night, I said, if I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't go to university. Many of us in my age group, our parents say, hey, you got to go to university, get a profession, all that sort of stuff. I don't know if that's applicable in the world these days, with things like technology, AI, etc. The world moving as fast as it is. Matter of opinion. But and then on Saturday afternoon, had another great conversation with Aisha K. Staggers and Laura Lala Key. Primetime Saturday, as usual, rock the house, trying to make sense of the nonsense going on in American politics and culture. And my usual co-host, Ryan Knight, is not with us today. He had to deal with an emergency, so he won't be with us today, but we still keep on trucking. We keep on going. Number of things coming up this week. Some of them you'll find out in a few moments, but on coming up this Saturday, I'm actually going to be hanging out with Ryan's organization. They have their annual symposium, which, it's good. Kofi said that last night, said, I asked him what he's going to be doing in the upcoming week. He said, I'm going to Ryan's thing. I go, is that this upcoming Saturday or the following Saturday? And I'm glad he told me, because I would have had no idea. I would have been totally out of sorts and at the wrong place. So that was okay. Oh, look who's in the house. Fitness IQ Cam says, morning. Good morning, Fitness IQ Cam. Hope you and your family are fine and safe and hanging out. So that's a little bit of what's going on. Okay, Fitness IQ Camp says, "Wow, Dr. Vibe." Why are you saying "Wow, Dr. Vibe"? Interesting. Okay, I'll take that. I hope that's a good wow. And anyone else, wherever you're chiming in from, love to chime in, say, "Hey, where you at?" etc., etc. So yeah, got a lot of things going on this week. Saturday is Ryan Singh got some epic conversations coming up the rest of this week. I don't know. I didn't watch it last night, but I heard that Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor for his acting in Sinners. So congratulations, Michael B. Jordan, on that. And I hear that Ryan Coogler, one of the producer and director, I guess is director of the film, won some of his team's cinematography, etc. She goes, Fitness, because not remember it's this Saturday coming. It's use a calendar. See, that's what I'm saying, Fitness IQ Camp. I had it for the 28th. I didn't have it for the 21st. So the reminder wouldn't have happened to me until close to the 28th. So that's what I'm saying. But yes, congratulations again, Michael B. Jordan, Ryan Coogler. I didn't watch any of those Academy Awards. There was something interesting, another interesting thing that happened entertainment-wise. People may or may not be aware that Larry Ellison, who owns a big, huge company called Oracle, bought Paramount a little while back, Paramount Viacom. And one of the things that has happened now is that BET Plus, I think, either got bought or no longer exists. And there's a lot of programming by Tyler Perry on BET Plus or BET. I know it's BET Plus, and it's gone. They bought it. So I got to do a little bit more research on it, but I think it's a very interesting move. And again, watching what's going on in the world of media is very, very interesting these days. So yes, so Fitness IQ Cam says yes, because not remembering it's the Saturday coming. Use a calendar. I as I said, I do use a calendar. It's just the fact that I had it for the wrong Saturday. So I do use a calendar. It just wasn't for the right Saturday. But I've been saved. And for those who are going, maybe Ryan will be with us on Friday. He'll be able to talk a little bit about it. So that's it. What else is going on in other people's worlds? I got people watching on different platforms. So good to have you here. A pleasure, a pleasure. And what else? I've been actually be doing a little bit of fooling around with AI. Found a great free music site on AI, and I've been playing around with it. You'll probably hear some of the results of it today, or as you hang out with Dr. Vibe more and more. But it's a great free music AI site. I know that the one that a lot of people use out there is called Sono, and one of the ones that a lot of people use is called Sono, Sono. Well, I found another one, and it creates, you can provide it lyrics. You can use different music types. You can create something with lyrics, without lyrics. If you don't have lyrics and you want lyrics, it will provide lyrics for you. Great. Actually, yeah, I'm looking forward to delving it more. And I'm getting more and more into this AI thing. Not getting lost in the weeds, though, but just using specific tools and not getting overwhelmed by it. So that is cool. All right. I think it's time to take a break. And we'll be back in a few moments after this.
Toronto, July 25th. The Narrative Power Summit is landing in the 6. This is about ownership.
This is about controlling our story. If you're serious about narrative power, strategy, and ownership, this is the room you need to be in. To get your tickets, go to africandiasporanews.org/Canada. I'll see you in Toronto.
Will you be in Toronto on the 25th of July for the ADNC Narrative Power Summit? Heavy hitters on that screen from Canada and the US, giving the inside track on especially if you are a Black content creator. You need to check it out. So there's the information on the screen there. I'll be sharing it on many of the comment sections of this broadcast live. And so Fitness IQ now says that's fair. I got a second date recently and it was a bit confused. Okay, so thank you for leaning a little bit off me. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. But yeah, so check out the African Narrative Power Summit, and leads into a few things here that coming up on the Dr. Vibe Show, which is another show I host and produce. This Wednesday, 12 noon Eastern, I'll be speaking with Philip Scott, the founder and chief executive media architect of the African Diaspora Channel. If you can check it out live, I highly suggest it. But if you can't, check out the replay. Philip Scott has been in the media game with his platforms for about 8-9 years, and he has a total subscribership. If you want to subscribe, total amount of subscribers about 1.8 million subscribers, and he's based in Texas. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. So again, if you're around a computer, your phone, tablet, 12 noon on Monday, not even Monday, on Wednesday. Let me get that on Wednesday. Check out that conversation. If not, please check out the replay. Also coming up this Friday on the Morning Vibe, Dream Tuit Barnes. You know what? I got to change that. That's not good editing. I am not happy with that. So let me just change this. There. Okay, now that's better. Coming up on this Friday show, Dream Tuit Barnes, we're talking about pre-med burnout, the research playbook secrets. And that's all about pre-med students. And Dream Tuit Barnes is in the journey to get her medical degree, and she's created a really great resource guide for students who are thinking about just employment, just a whole bunch of things. She was supposed to be on last month. Unfortunately, something came up and she wasn't able to appear on the show, but she is going to be on this Friday on the Morning Vibe. Okay, let's do some housekeeping here. Subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button. Also, like the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, Blue Sky, and Substack. Just out of curiosity, people are watching. How many people use any or some of those platforms these days? Are people still using Facebook who are watching live on the replay? Are you using LinkedIn? Are you using Instagram? Are you using TikTok, Blue Sky, and Substack? Be curious. For me, the ones I use the most, well, Facebook, I always stream live to Facebook, though I don't really engage a lot on Facebook because a lot of stuff is video. And a little while back, Facebook now had a policy that if you do post live stream on Facebook, it takes the video down after 30 days. So, okay. LinkedIn, I'm doing my best to do, and I also stream live to LinkedIn all the time. So every time I'm live, it goes to LinkedIn. So I do post regularly on there, but I don't do written posts. And I'm thinking about doing that, or written posts I've never done a lot of. And people are telling me, oh, you should do some written posts. So we'll see. But I'm on there video-wise, and also think about doing shorts on LinkedIn. Aha. Instagram, I don't do a lot on. The time is there. I'm not making the time to do it. TikTok, I've said in a few, as I've said, get my mouth right. As I have said on some previous shows, I'm looking to get off of TikTok. Not really a big fan of it. Wish I could do more on Blue Sky and Substack. I do everything that I do live also goes to Substack also. So just out of curiosity, if you're up to it, tell me what are you doing, where are you posting, or where you're sharing content these days. Join the Morning Vibe Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Also, the link is there if you want to advertise your business product or service on the platform. Please feel free to email me, dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. And then we've got Indie Soup TV, our good friend, Dr. Tachi. Actually, I got a chat with Dr. Tachi to message her. She is the creator of Indie Soup TV, independent content creators platform. About 25 independent content creators. and her platform has over 28,000 YouTube subscribers in about 2.5 years, which makes it subscriber wise on YouTube in the top 4% of all YouTube channels. And we are there right now. We've got that. Oh, I just also want another thing I found on the weekend. I was like peering around for people in regards to thumbnails, especially for YouTube. I found a great resource, free resource, that if you want to upload your images to 4K to look really crisp and clear, I found a free resource on the weekend to use. So if you want to find out about some of these things, touch base with me. Okay, Fitness IQ Cam says Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. And she says rarely Facebook and TikTok. Okay. Thank you for those answers. Yeah. I'd like to do more on Instagram. It's just the time is just, I'm not prioritizing Instagram, but whenever I do Instagram, it seems for a period of time. And then what I need to do is just sit down and just schedule a whole bunch of posts on Instagram, which I'm getting to that point. And LinkedIn and YouTube I'm on a regular basis. It's okay. Whoa. All right. So good to have everybody here. Again, whether you're watching live or on replay, it's appreciated and not taken for granted. Well, we have a returning friend. She has not been here for a while. And it was about a little while ago, says, hey, like to catch up. So we caught up and we've got her back. So does anyone know who it is? Well, if you follow the Dr. Vibe Show and you check out the notifications, you know who it is. But if you don't, Minnie St. Clair is back in the house. What is up, Minnie St. Clair?
I'm good. I'm trying to keep cool because hot flashes are so annoying.
Okay. All right. Well,
and they're more annoying with multiple sclerosis. So this is
I could imagine
stage of life I'm in now.
I could imagine, and hopefully, Fitness IQ Cam says, "Hola, Minnie. Hola, Minnie.
How you doing, twin?
I didn't know you two were twins.
We have the same first name.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Yeah. And
okay.
It would be the same initials, but hers is with a K. And
Yeah, she likes to be special. She likes to be special.
And we annoy people. We annoy Zoom people when we're in the meeting together.
Oh, I could imagine that. Oh, you could both of you together, whether
no,
it's
just the names. They completely confused which one of us is talking.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
It's happened.
It's happened.
It's happened.
And we still haven't met in person. We've only still meet virtually. But yeah, there's times we're in the same Zoom meeting, same circle. We're both there, and the host is completely confused of who's who, where I have to tell them to call me Minnie just so that they can rest their brain of confusion. But yeah, it's been interesting for 3 years. Yeah, it's 3 years of not seeing her in person.
And it's so interesting that going to in-person events these days and seeing people you haven't seen for a long time. I don't do a lot of in-person meetings, but when I do, I always run into someone who I have not seen for a long, long time. And it's okay. So Fitness IQ Cam says, because we have Camille S and Camille S. And yeah, that's true. And then she goes, I know, and we were so close. What happened? You're not close.
A meeting well, at one point her car was unavailable.
Yes.
Made it more stressful to be available.
Yes.
I mean, we'll figure it out.
Oh yeah.
It's just very entertaining. She's now my longest virtual friend that lives in my city.
Okay.
And then I realized you're my longest male friend because I met you in my 20s.
Wow. which leads to another conversation. There are yeah, it's I've been doing a lot of reflection lately, and just there's some people in my journey. There's one gentleman I've known for 30 plus years, and we go in and out, but we Mignon Cam and Kim Gu are having their own now side conversation and starting now. That's
No,
okay. It's all good.
and
It's all good. And we've started chatting on the regular again. And this time I don't want to let him go. We've known each other for a long period of time. And I shared on the Morning Vibe a little while back. I got a call from someone who I hadn't heard, who I've known. I met over 20 years ago. And they all of a sudden just called me, and we had a great 2.5 hour conversation. So I want to make sure what I need to do is have a book and just put a list of people to just touch base with them on a somewhat regular basis to check in on them. And that's a this week project. That's a this week project. And it was chatting too much about myself, but people say, you need to talk more about yourself. There was some that was on my mind for the last week and a half. And it's funny. I was with a group of people yesterday, and one of the gentlemen was listening to some music, and I'm going, is that Jodeci? and he goes, yeah. I go, oh, is that Feenan? He goes, yeah. And the person that I was thinking about, they love Jodeci, is their favorite band of all time. And let alone within 20 minutes, that person messaged me. Just like, so nothing just happens. And Fitness IQ Camp says, shout out to 20-30 year friendships. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I don't know if it's on the Morning Vibe. I'm going on my own tangent today, but having a show about long-term friendships. I'd almost like to have a show about long-term friends and bring people on who've been long-term friends. But yeah, Minnie and I, we go back. And and again, we were distanced for a while, and then one of the things that brought us back together is digital. Brought us back together again, and I value her. I've always did my best, never been perfect, to champion her. And so I thank you for staying in and continue to make this happen. I appreciate that, and I don't take it for granted.
Yeah, because I was thinking about it, like.
Yeah.
And then I was trying to think about why it was. And
well, here's the crazy thing. I don't know how we originally met. I'm not good at that. I'm not good with it. Was it what?
It was PodCamp. So 1 year I went to PodCamp.
Yeah. Did it just recently happen, or is it coming up?
Yeah, it's end of February. It's always end of February.
Yeah. And I always think I'd like to present, and okay, so people hold me to it. I'm speaking that we'll be streaming this time next year. Remind me, I'd like to go back to PodCamp and do a sharing session, because that's where one of those moments in my journey that go, aha, because I remember, and I don't know if this was the first time I was at PodCamp that I met you. I don't know.
Yeah, PodCamp was first.
Okay.
And then it was,
All right.
It was like 2 other events after, like when they were having the dating relationship topics, and they added a topic that they had no business talking about when everyone was drunk on box wine. So.
Okay.
And then some Black group had a brunch that you just popped in for a hello and left.
I was doing a session with somebody, and one of the things I'll remember about that is we had no idea what we were getting ourselves into. As we were getting prepared at TMU, because now it's at George Brown College, back then it was Ryerson Polytechnic Institute. Now it's Toronto Metropolitan University. But I remember as we were getting prepared, he dropped his iPad and the screen cracked, and he lost it a little bit, but we still went through with it. And I remember, and I've shared this story every once in a while. We were going in, so we had no idea. So we go into the hall, the seminar hall where they do classes, and it was packed. And we went, okay, this is the real deal. I will never forget that moment because especially you still once in a while have imposter syndrome. They're like, who's going to show up at this thing? I have no idea because they don't tell you how many people are going to attend each one or whatever, and you just go, okay. And that actually led to me. There was a reporter from the Globe and Mail back then. I got to remember his name, see if he's still around, and he actually interviewed me, and I got interviewed for the Globe and Mail through that, which was the first major media thing I ever did. It was back then and look back again too, and one of last week's shows, and everyone who's watching live in the replay, coming up in a few days, we are going to be celebrating, well, won't do it on the show. We got to find time to do it. 5 years of doing the morning vibe. I'm still not, it still hasn't hit me that I've been doing this for 5. Though the morning vibe is one thing. How long I've been doing shows, that's a whole other conversation. With the morning vibe one, I went, wow. We've gone off topic. Let's get back to we're here to talk about that. I'm saying this is why I don't like to share to it. I want the friends who come on the show. It's their story, not mine. But that's a little bit of slice of pie for me. All right. So today we're talking about MS Awareness Month. Black boys living with multiple sclerosis, and I've got a number of conversation topics. Also, you've sent me some links, so we're gonna ping pong a little bit today. But I want to ask you first, conversation-wise, when did you first notice that something might be wrong with your health? And what were those early symptoms like for you day to day, the early symptoms? So take us back in time.
For me, it's 2013. I'm annoyed I gained weight from my bipolar medication, the Quietapine, the Seroquel. So I thought I would work out, and I thought I pinched a nerve because I couldn't move my left arm, and it would move involuntarily away from me. So it was almost like I'm throwing something away from my body. And because it came with a shooting pain and I have a curved spine, I'm still thinking it's a pinched nerve. But because it's my left side of my body, my doctor ordered the tests pretty quickly. So I saw the first notes where in it says demyelation disease in it. And right away, they told me they thought it was MS. And then right after that, I thought about Montel Williams because he's the only person I know who has MS that looks like me. And then it just referral to the neurologist, more MRIs, more neurological exams where I get poked with pins and have to walk in a straight line and walk on my heels pretty much every year since 2013. And then 2019, my symptoms were, I guess, progressing because my toes were curled on top of each other and I couldn't move them. And then the way that you do the MRI. So the MRI has to show lesions in the brain, spine, like the whole spinal cord, like the torso and then lower half. They need like multiple lesions in time and space. Or there's some people that just progress really quickly with their multiple sclerosis. For me, it's relapse and remitting. And then 2013, they call it clinically isolated syndrome. And there's primary progressive and secondary progressive. And it's basically your immune system is attacking itself from the central nervous system, which means your vision, your walking, your talking, everything the central nervous system controls is not firing properly based on the myelin, which is like protective coating that we have that's supposed to send signals all through our body. And it does all the time. And the reason, like if you have numb fingers or like you hit your funny bone, you feel it through your whole arm and your whole body. Now my body just does it by itself at its own schedule. And we try to manage it with different medications and different treatments. And it's just now the rest of my life, like it's along with bipolar disorder, PTSD, ADHD, and fibroids. Like the aging and normal stuff doesn't stop because you have multiple sclerosis. They just pile on top of what you already have. And then for MS, some people call it the snowflake disease because no two people have the same type of MS or it doesn't present the same way. where a lot of the MS groups are always just posting of what symptoms they have and they think it's MS related. And I have to back away from it because sometimes it's not MS related, but it takes a while to do the, clue game to figure out what it is. But because like hot flashes and menopause are connected, and insomnia and the CPAP machine, there's a lot of coexisting of symptoms that go together from other diseases. Like when my dental hygienist, my last appointment, she blurted out she thinks she has multiple sclerosis. And I'm like, hold on. First, you have diabetes. Your fingers could be numb from diabetes. But because she was in the emergency room and the emergency room people asked her if she has multiple sclerosis, she's freaking out now. And now she's doing MRIs and different testing. And then she doesn't have insurance. And I'm like, well, you better get insurance now, because not having insurance, especially even though Canada has healthcare, it doesn't actually support you 100% when you get a chronic illness diagnosis, which she's my dental hygienist. Her job is really to, check my history, clean my teeth, do an x-ray, tell me if I have cavities, and send me home. But now, because I talk about MS everywhere, I now have a dental hygienist who's in a panic mode, trying to break down symptoms. And because she's Middle Eastern and MS is not prevalent in our community because we're programmed to think it's a white person disease, we're not registering this could happen to us like we would with high blood pressure or diabetes or like cancer. Those are like, oh yeah, we could have them. Multiple sclerosis, we can have it too. And we need to not pretend it's something else. Like me in the emergency room in August, my grandmother was trying to present me as sickle cell anemia and a B12 deficiency. No, sickle cell anemia, my doctor checked it multiple times where she had to pull a copy of my results to give it to me that I don't have it. I have it somewhere in a pile of paper. And then, yeah, my iron gets low sometimes. I'll ask my doctor about it. I'm probably going to iron infusions or iron tablets. But if it's one or the other, may not be covered by the government and may not be covered because my insurance is Ontario Disability Support Program. And there's also a plan of going to a naturopath doctor to boost up my immune system with different supplements, but that's also not covered by the government. So MS is a very expensive chronic illness that a lot of people don't talk about the way we talk how expensive cancer is.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. So what was going through your mind the day you finally received diagnosis of MS as a Black person, given that many people still think it's, as you had mentioned, not a Black disease?
There was 3 years my body did nothing. So I went skydiving. I went skydiving. I was at the club every Friday, Saturday night. I partied like it's 1999. So because it's relapse and remitting for me, when there's a relapse, I panic, I fall apart. I'm in my doctor's office all the time. We're trying to figure out how to manage symptoms. We're switching different types of medications. When it's in remission, I am trying to pack full my schedule with everything I can do. Even now, like feel like things are work because I switched medication. I switched neurologists. I had to go back on a muscle relaxer. Then I added a different muscle relaxer. And then I'm dealing with side effects of the medications, but they're manageable to the point where I'm just trying to get back to work and make money because I lost 6 months of my full-time income that supplements my disability income to manage the things I need to take care of myself. And I barely made it with grocery delivery every week since August. Yes, mom, dad, and grandma helped, but I felt like an inconvenience. I felt like a burden. I felt like and then they made me feel like I'm lying, which is annoying because I've been dealing with this since 2013. It's in the routine. And my mom is mostly the person in my appointments. And I now have a rule. If I invite you to my medical appointment, if you're not in the room, I'm not telling you what happened. It's just, and I'm not going to record it. And I'm not going to put you on speakerphone. But apparently that boundary makes people uncomfortable. So it's because everything for MS is happening to me and my body and everything. And I have to wake up every day, wiggle my toes and my hands and, see if I can see certain letters in my room to see if my vision's okay. I do that every morning and I freak out every time I do it because it's just like the attendance check of
Mhm.
head and shoulders, knees and toes that I do every
Right.
day.
Did anyone around you, and you had mentioned a little bit about family, but did anyone around you, family, friends, coworkers, struggle to believe or understand that you had MS? Especially because probably at the time you didn't look sick?
I still don't look sick. And that's the problem. We need to stop saying that to people. Like a lot of our illnesses we have, we don't look sick. Like when people manage their diabetes properly, they don't look sick unless we see their monitor on their arm or they're checking their blood sugar. Like if they're actively doing the thing that manages their diabetes, we know they have it. But lupus, you don't look sick, but they may not drink alcohol. Um, like there's so many autoimmune diseases that we could have that no, you don't look sick, but you're in a doctor's office every month. Like you're doing blood work every month. You're doing physio. You're doing all of these things like therapy. When people say like I have bipolar disorder, oh, I don't look like I have bipolar disorder. Yes, I do. I'm just not in an active hypomania state right now. But that was the annoying battle I had with my ex-boyfriend of 10 years. I told him up front, these are my illnesses. This is what I deal with. And near the end, he used that against me as a reason to break up with me if it's too much for him. But he was never really involved in any of it. Like at most, he would see all the pamphlets for all the medications I take with all the side effects on the 20-page document. Or I would post appointments for my like on my calendar or my fridge of when my next appointment is. So he knew I was actively taking care of myself. I just needed a support system to be there and buy me Burger King when we're finished. Like
Mm,
their job is not that complicated. You're in the room, you absorb the information. We go to Burger King or all day breakfast and go home.
got it.
That's it. Like at
Got it.
most, it's like $40 when the day is finished plus parking. But my building has parking. So like it's not that bad. But like other people on the outside, they act like it's happening to them. It's not. It's me. All my notes have my name on it, my age and my weight, and like all my history of am I using substances or not using substances? Like why am I not taking baclofen? Should I take baclofen? Am I progressing? PIRA, which is like a medical word they use to describe the disease progression,
Mhm.
and my disability score, the EDDS. I'm a -2, which is mild, but if I progress, I have a problem. And it's more of a problem for me because the more I progress with the disease, I lose my independence. I lose my ability to work. I lose my ability to travel. Like I'm not really interested in having a wheelchair and traveling and have my wheelchair broken.
Right. Then I want to zero in, especially now about being Black and living with MS. Want to put it out there. How has being Black shaped the way you were treated or have been treated in the healthcare system as you sought answers and ongoing care for MS?
Luckily, I have an amazing primary doctor. She is a person of color. She was a walk-in doctor at first. I tested her out enough times to know I could trust her. Like my first appointment with her was a bladder infection where I was hunched over in pain, telling her, I think I have a bladder infection. She's like, yes, but let's do the urine test just to confirm. And then she came back. She goes, you know what? You're right. Like for a doctor to instantly tell me that I'm right for symptoms I've been having made it clear that I can bring my information to her and not have this battle of, oh, I don't know. Like I'm getting a little bit now with the whole diet lifestyle for reducing my fibroids. But for the most part, my doctor never really puts me in a box of, I don't know what I'm talking about. Plus, having my mom and my grandmother who are nurses in my appointments help because they confuse the hell out of my doctors. Because they
Got it.
know what they're talking about and they ask questions like that they force them to know that they know what they're talking about.
Well, that's good. Well, I'm glad you can chuckle about it because not everyone going through what you're going through can find or make the time to chuckle and laugh about it. So that's a wonderful trait. Let me ask, have you faced any unique challenges around access to neurologists, treatment options, or insurance compared to what you see other communities getting?
My friends are. So I have a friend with epilepsy who's trying to find a neurologist that she can, get along with and trust her process and her thought process. Me, because I'm still downtown Toronto and my doctor is connected to the whole healthcare network downtown, it was an instant referral from her to the MS clinic at St. Michael's Hospital. And I've been there since 2013. That is a world-class clinic. And then the neurologist I got assigned to first, he was seeing 3,000 patients. I was his boring patient. And I used to get mad of him calling me my boring patient. And now I really, really want my new neurologist to call me boring. So, and it's also a thing I notice in the MS peer groups, like the women over 50, they're depressed or sad that their neurologist no longer wants to see them anymore unless their MS is progressing, or they have a hard time advocating for their needs if they feel like their disease is progressing. But I think it's just a generational thing. Like me, with my family doctor and the muscle relaxer, the tizanidine, my family doctor wasn't comfortable with it because she didn't know how it worked. So then I was having muscle spasms where I need squeeze from the inside out. My hands is turning into a claw. I cannot do my basic task of making the bed and taking care of myself. So I ended up going to the emergency room, but I brought 20-page document of all my notes to the emergency room. In triage, they read it. And then the on-call doctor, he read it. And then he was like, so why you're here? I can't really help you. And how come I didn't go to the hospital at St. Mike's? But the main reason I went to a different hospital, I was hoping it'd be a shorter wait time than waiting 6 hours to see a doctor. It was 3 hours. And then luckily I already knew what I needed. And it was a matter of him finding out if it's good or not. And then I heard him in the hallway consulting with 2 neurologists. And they're like, oh yeah, no problem. Give her tizanidine 5 milligrams, send her home. And I did. I went home. And but it's because I did the research. I did the research of the tizanidine from virtual neurologists who talk about multiple sclerosis on their YouTube channels. And I asked them a question about the replacement for baclofen. And then now when I go into my follow-up in April, like they're going to let me know the combination of baclofen and tizanidine, but it also makes me drowsy with the quetiapine and dry mouth. So but it's working. But I sleep all day and I'm up all night, where my whole routine is completely shifted because I'm treating the muscle spasms. But they're improving because I'm getting more work done and I'm more active. So I'm always living in this pros and cons environment for everything. Even switching the disease modifying drug treatment to the one I'm on now, it was August, I couldn't move my hands. The numbness kept getting increasing. I go to the emergency room. It was the biggest mistake of calling family in the emergency room. I should have text friends and sent voice messages in the emergency room. It's more because my family that showed up, my grandmother, my dad that showed up in the emergency room, they didn't believe I have MS and I'm in the emergency room. I know why I'm there. I'm the one that got there first. I'm not trying to leave the house unless I have to. Like it's built in. So one of my numbness in both of my hands, because it was a new symptom of worsening of an old symptom, which tends to be the basic criteria of why you would go to the emergency room. And if it was affecting your daily function. So like some people, they have it where their legs are heavy. So they're probably calling an ambulance to take them to the hospital. For me, it was my hands. I couldn't really use them the way I wanted to. So, and I was on a medication, teriflunomide, and that's a pill a day for 5 years. But because I was having MS symptoms while on the medication, they felt it was a breakthrough of a relapse. So then I had to switch medication. And then to switch medication, I have to wait for approval from my inadequate government insurance, do all the blood work for it, do a booster, redo my vaccines and things like hepatitis B, make sure my hepatitis B is not a bill to me, but it's covered by their program and the government, and then switch the medications and then get the orientation package of the Mavenclad, because that's the one I picked. So I picked a T cell inhibitor. So they lower my T cells and B cells, and we're hoping my immune system will build itself back up again, where there's new cells that's not attacking itself. And that is the round one, because Mavenclad is You take 5 to 7 pills a day based on your body weight for a week, 1 month. Then you wait a whole year, you do it again. Then year 3 and 4 is MRI and monitoring and blood work. And then hopefully you don't have a relapse to change medication or go back on Mavenclad again. And I'm on the roller coaster for the rest of my life.
Let me ask, have you or any other Black individuals with MS, have you encountered any stigmas around the disability, chronic illness, or MS that any of you have encountered?
No more than normal stigmas that people with disabilities face. Like we're too young, we don't look sick, we think we're faking it. How like they're trying to crack down on people who have the disability parking pass. You have to go to a doctor and fill out the form and they have to say, yes, you're disabled. And the doctor charges you a fee to fill out the form to say, yes, you're disabled. Like my doctor, if I go in, she's, oh, don't worry about it. You're permanently disabled. As bluntly as it sounds, she'll say that. And then I have to continue on my appointment, and the disability tax credit, the doctor has to fill it out to say that how I'm disabled. It has nothing to do with me and how I think my disability presents itself. It's based on my doctors gathering all the notes, if they're paying attention to me showing up in the office of what I said, to put in the paperwork that gets submitted to some person who may not even have a disability to say, yes, I get permission of a parking pass, disability tax credit, school accommodations, housing accommodations. Yeah, and non-disabled people just make it harder for us when they could become disabled at any moment, like my friend going through epilepsy and finding her neurologist, and she's calling me in a panic on ODSP.
Got it.
She was fine 6 years ago working her professional chef job, and then she got in a car accident, everything fell apart.
Got you.
Disability doesn't happen when you're aging. It can happen at any moment in time of your life, as long as you're breathing.
Then how has MS changed your daily life, work, personal responsibilities, social life, or role in your community? How has it changed your daily life?
So August, I was walking out to get something from the store, and my hands were moving involuntarily, and I couldn't move anymore. And a young lady turned around, asked if I needed help. But many people walked past me. The amount of people that walk past me that think there's nothing wrong with me when I'm suffering. Like this winter, I didn't really go outside. I had groceries delivered. I only picked up medications. I hoped and prayed that I didn't have a muscle spasm going to my destination or coming back. And then when I did, and I couldn't put my hands back in position to act like normal hands holding shopping bags. And it's squeezing my ribs. When it squeezes my ribs, I fall over, I tip over. So my goal was to hide in the corner on the wall until the spasms was over. But because I needed to get home at ice cream, I kept walking. My hands, they took over being uncontrollable, where someone volunteered to help me carry my groceries. But luckily, this person said their aunt has MS and sometimes uses a wheelchair. But for the most part, I'm getting people wondering what's wrong with me. Like when I'm in the waiting room and I was rubbing my hands together because they're numb, and the old couple beside me is like, is that a new exercise? I said, my fingers are numb. And she's like, you're too young to have numb fingers. I go, but I do. And there's nothing I can do about it. And older people are usually the ones that notice my walking issues when I'm out in public. Like they try to give me advice. They try to tell me how to bend down. Yeah. If I break a hip, they'll be the ones helping me out on the road, not younger people. And then there's just a batch of people that just don't care and don't pay attention when people need help.
Fitness IQ Camp says the importance of doing the research and having it available.
That's part of it. But the Black data research only really started showing up in publication in 2015. But MS has been there since the 1800s.
What are some of the invisible symptoms people don't see, but can take the greatest toll on you?
Fatigue is one, but fatigue for me, I think, is a side effect of all my medications. Brain fog, where you literally feel your brain is not processing information. And sometimes it physically hurts. Like when people get a migraine, like that. Like I'm having a muscle spasms, relapse, new medication transformation in August, and then I get my parents making very disabling, inappropriate comments of, oh, I should be an institution. Why can't they have a cure? Like things that weren't helping me. Then I needed someone to come help me clean up my apartment, maybe cook for me, maybe just send groceries, not have me feel like an inconvenience, that my body is falling apart and I can't do anything about it till wait till it passes. Because it affects your vision. Like some people have neuro-optic, it has a full name. Either way, people with MS know the vision problem with the MS. It's
Right.
not like blurry vision from aging or you just can't see the screen or you're reading. It's actually, they can see it in the ophthalmologists when they scan your eye and they do the test and they freeze your eyeball and look behind it. They can actually see, I guess, lesions because the way that's connected to your brain and connected to your eye, then there's some people who lose the ability to swallow. And then like it's a random bingo card of symptoms that could happen.
Right.
That most of the symptoms are what regular people take for granted that could happen to us.
How do you balance the desire to stay independent and strong with the reality of needing help or accommodations at times?
Well, Prince Charming is not coming. And if they do, they don't stay around very long. Because when I was unable to move my hands, we filled the form for Ontario Health at Home to have a home visit of people that come help me. I'm not disabled enough. And then the city of Toronto has a service for housekeeping, but they want to see my tax return before they give it to me. I don't want to fill out, and the waiting list for it, they don't know, they're not telling you how long it is. So you fill out the form, get on the waiting list, and then you're just waiting to see if they help you or not. And then the nurse for Ontario Health at Home, she did the home visit. I told her everything was going on. She said, oh, that's a lot. And then turned around and tell me that I can't get all the services. Like I got a dietitian, occupational therapist, a nurse coming and check my blood pressure. But the PSW that I needed to help me around the house, at least dishes or meal prep or laundry or all the physical activities that I needed help with, I didn't get it. And then because the muscle spasms were affecting all of my muscles, I had to go to the physiotherapist. That's $150 an hour because they're a neurological physiotherapy clinic. And she said all of my muscles were stuck in contraction. That is the most painful thing you can be in, where your muscles are not able to move the way you want to and you control them as you want to. Yeah, I hanged on for dear life for 6 months.
I've had moments where your body just takes over and you have no control. It's for me, whoa, it's a very wow moment when you have no control over your body. So living with that on a somewhat regular basis, that would be challenging at the least.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a runner and pull a Charlie horse, it eventually goes away. But if you're a person with MS and pull a Charlie horse, you don't know when it's going to go away.
Let me ask, in what ways has MS forced you to rethink who you are, your identity, and how you define strength and success as a Black person living with a chronic illness?
I live with MS. I live with bipolar disorder. They are roommates that moved in and do not pay rent. Like me, as Minnie St. Clair, I have a whole thing I want to do. I have activism. I have money I want to make, places I want to travel. Like I would like to visit church more often. It's walking distance from my house. Like they're good people, but there's a lot of people in that church. So, and I'm Black every day. Like but I'm also not just Black. Like I'm Asian, I'm Indian, I'm African and British and Scottish and Irish. Those parts are in there too. They're just never seen because they only see my darker skin tone. And then, oh yeah, my darker skin tone is not that dark. I'm either called browning or just enough to not date certain types of people. Like there's always this extra label onto me that's not mine, that I have to reject all the time.
Gotcha. What role, if any, have faith, spirituality, or cultural traditions played in helping you cope with MS?
Yeah, there's a church I was going to like 3 months before I had my relapse. And then there was a moment where I thought my relapse was over, and I had church members pray for me, but it's still a new church. I don't really know these people very well, but there's enough faces that recognize my face when I'm in the church, or like I was walking in the neighborhood and they saw me and I heard my name being called. And then my mom's always praying all the time, like excessively. Like one time she'd call me just to burst out in prayer. So because of how the symptoms of MS can literally take over and make you feel the darkest thoughts, it's only faith that gets you through it. Because especially like I'm not getting the services I need from the government to help me with MS. I have to work more, save money. I basically have to build like $3,000 in case I have a future relapse. And then hopefully, Fitness IQ Camp can send me food at the hospital. Like I have to rearrange my whole future if something happens to me. That I have to believe I can do it, or I crawl up under the bed. I never come out of bed. I never come out of sleep, even though I'm not sleeping, which.
Wow.
And I can't just lie in bed and do nothing, or just lie in bed because I have symptoms. I have to eat. I'm cooking all my foods. I'm doing all my dishes. I'm doing all my laundry. Like it's me doing it unless I pay someone to do it or someone comes over to volunteer to do it. And then volunteer to do it without judging me that you're doing it. That is a problem I'm having with certain people that claim they want to help me. I don't need your judgment that you're helping me. I can pay someone to do it, and they're not going to judge me for me not doing it. They'll happily do it, and I'll tip them. I'd rather pay someone their fee plus add on a $50 tip because they helped me and did what I needed without giving me a judgment, almost swearing. Yes, I would. This is a swearing moment. We don't need the judgment. If you're not physically in the environment every single day to see what happens to us, and you come in for your little opinion, and stress is one of the factors that triggers a relapse.
Where have you found the most meaningful support?
The Black MS community, but they're majority American. But this month alone, I've seen 100 Black faces with MS or understand MS. Because there was yesterday, there's the women with MS group. Then Can Do MS does a 4 times a month open group where it's like breakout rooms and exercises, but there's a psychologist and occupational therapist in the room. Yeah, that had 71 people. Black faces with MS in the room. So I know the numbers are not accurate.
Right. Okay. We're going to take a quick little break so Minnie can have a glass of water because she shared a lot with us so far this morning. And I just want to do a little break. So we'll be back in 30 seconds with more of Minnie.
College Black Men Can Talk live on Sundays at 8 p.m. Eastern, where Dr. Vibe, Kofi Sadat, and Kofi Morris come together to have real, unfiltered conversations about life, culture, and community from a Black Canadian man point of view.
Watch Primetime Saturdays on Saturdays 5 p.m. Eastern, where Aisha K. Staggers and Laura Lala Key try to make sense of the nonsense in American politics and culture.
All right, we're back on the Morning Vibe with Minnie St. Clair talking about MS Awareness Month, Black Voices Living with Multiple Sclerosis. And I wanted to give her a break because she went through a lot. And I saw her go for a walk. I said, okay, break time. Let me continue the conversation here. Have you ever struggled with pride or, quote, a strong Black woman, unquote, expectation when it comes to asking for help, using mobility aids, or even resting?
Mobility aids, I'm fighting that like the plague. Like when the occupational therapist was here and he made suggestions of different utensils that could wrap around my hand, I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm 4 again. Like, because the way that they, like, yes, they have a purpose, but I could still manage most of the time feeding myself like any normal person that's not disabled would. It's just that the way that I got flooded with so much information of occupational therapy and then different modalities of assisted devices. And then I live in a place that I'm renting. I don't necessarily want to put permanent, semi-permanent things in my apartment that remind me all the time of my disability. Like, I can ask for help. That's no problem. It's just I'm now selective of who I ask help from. And then with like the pride part, yeah, I'm stubborn. I've been stubborn from day one. But I'm not going to suffer. Like, either I go to the emergency room, I go to my doctor's office, I excessively text and call family members until they pick up the phone and call me. It's just the way that they're thinking that I'm fine. No, I'm not. If they haven't seen me or been to my appointment, they have no idea what fine is. Like, I have an appointment at the end of the month. They're probably not going to be there. Follow up April, I'll ask my mom, but she's probably working. And then I can't really ask my dad because he has a weird panic attack over something that's not happening to him. And then my grandmother still thinks it's my B12. I have to send her confirmation articles from the hospital she works at for her to believe I have MS. Like, I had to fight with evidence of it's not MS-like symptoms. It's confirmed relapse remitting MS to my grandmother for her to listen. And she's been a nurse my entire life working in the hospital that I get treatment for. And I'm at the point where if my family doesn't see me, I'm okay with it. They're too much a bother. The burden is really me trying to build a relationship with them than in me taking care of my MS. Because MS has been there long enough that I know my doctors will find the best treatment option. Right now, I'm taking 2 oral medications for MS. Before, we had self-injections in the 90s called Copaxone. Then, after 40 years of MS research, they now have 110 different treatment options for medications. But earlier, 40 years ago, we didn't have a lot of options. Or you didn't have doctors that actually believe it was multiple sclerosis, even though it's confirmed in the 1800s. Because the way that they tested in the 1800s was very barbaric.
Facts. Even though you're self-employed, I want to see if you can answer or give some take on this. How do you think race and disability intersect when it comes to job security or being taken seriously in professional spaces?
Well, people with disabilities and poverty, the numbers are rising. So that means people with disabilities who would like to work are not getting the work that they want to do. And then add in racism, either you're Black or disabled, you're not both. Like, if I was disabled in a wheelchair, no problem. They can see it, they can confirm it, they understand it. Me having a psychological disorder and then a neurological disorder and then neurodivergence, they don't see it. They think I'm fine. And luckily I'm self-employed where I don't have to go to HR and ask for accommodations or hope I get accommodations or sue them for not giving me accommodations.
Right.
Like, that's the biggest issue my friend is having now. Her job can't really accommodate her. Amazon was cashing out stocks to pay her, but they weren't accommodating her to actually do her job. Where now, like, her passion for being a chef is just disappearing completely. And then other people, if they're 18 and disabled and they never had a job, and then they're on government assistance, it's below the poverty line, their hope slips away faster. You just destroy them completely. Because if you're going to be 18 disabled on government benefits and they want to have a job, they're already told a bunch of stuff that they have no potential. And then you repeat it for decades and decades till they're older. Yeah. And then you turn around and tell us to try harder. No, it's the other side. It's the non-disabled people that have to do better.
Right. In light of you sharing that, just a few seconds ago, what misinformation about MS in the Black community have you come across, and how has it impacted you or the people around you?
The people around me, I'm at the point I don't care how it impacts them because I can't worry about their emotions attached to it. For like my dental hygienist who thinks she has it, yeah, if it's confirmed she has it, everything about what she's doing could shift, because it's like a lottery of, do you get relapse remitting your whole life, or do you progress to secondary progressive? And how the disease presents itself, nobody knows. Everyone is guessing. Even my notes, when I read my notes from my doctor, everyone is guessing. So the sooner the person living with the symptoms accept it, the easier it is, because I can't control any of my family members or friends about it, but I don't have to. And I'm not going to waste my energy trying to explain it to them at all. Even my job is like, come back when you're cured. There's no cure. Like, I live with it, and we hope I don't, fall down or cut myself when I'm cooking. Like, at one point I couldn't bend my hands in a claw to protect my hands while I'm chopping vegetables. Like, so you telling me, oh, wait, come back when you're the cure? There's no cure. There's no cure. It's a lot of medications to manage symptoms and hope you don't die of complications of different medications. Not MS also is not the one that kills you. It's other diseases that kill you with MS.
Right. So do you feel, don't go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
That is a part people don't understand. And it's not like MS is not new. Millions of people have it. Check every US, American, New Zealand, Australian MS multiple sclerosis database. Millions of people have it. More people are being diagnosed, and more people are waiting for a diagnosis. And then we have a shortage of doctors in a lot of parts of the country and the world. I thought the shortage of doctors was Canada. No, the UK has the same problems too. And then getting a neurologist who understands MS, that is also the difficulty out of it. Like getting a regular neurologist and they don't understand MS, everything they do is testing you like a guinea pig. But if they work with patients specifically with multiple sclerosis, you have a higher chance of having them care of your outcome. And then not every city has MS clinics where you can just go to one place dedicated for multiple sclerosis.
Interesting. So do you feel seen and represented when you look at MS campaigns, conferences, or online communities, or do you feel invisible?
I'm not invisible. I'm just not in the conversation. Like, I had to dig around for months to find Black MS information, and it's still mostly American. Like, there's 2 articles and 2 studies from MS Canada, and then I have a meeting with MS Canada to be a facilitator for one of the peer groups, but I'm specifically telling them it's going to be a Black MS group, because I'm tired of them acting like, oh, we can't find you. We are everywhere around the world. You are lazy. That is what they're doing. Because I have it since 2013. More people are diagnosed every day and every year. Like, once they jump through the hoops of getting the doctor to believe them, run all the tests, show the symptoms, make sure they fit the McDonald criteria that got updated. Like, there's so many things that could fit in the box of you have MS, that acting like, oh, I can't find the data of people of color, it's a cop-out. You're lazy. Stop doing that.
So in what ways has MS forced you to rethink who you are, your identity, and how you define strength and success as a Black person living with a chronic illness?
You asked that question, no?
Did
Already?
I think I may have asked that. Sorry about that. My bad. All right, then let me jump to this. And you've mentioned this a little bit, but I think you can go a little bit deeper. How important is it to have Black doctors, nurses, therapists, or advocates involved in your care or other Black people's care when it comes to MS?
We will leave them more. And I know this for a fact. So my doctor, she's Indian. And the older ladies, when they come out of her office from their appointments, they question if they're going to take the recommendations of the medication. It's a verbal conversation in the lobby of like, I don't know if I want to take this, but she's a real nice lady. I'll try it. Like they literally do that in the hallway when they're coming out of pros and con lists of why would they take the medication. They don't really like it or side effects or whatever the case is. And because of how my doctor treats them, they'll take the medication. I've seen it. Like, it's a weird experience. And the main reason I know my doctor's good is my mom opinion about her and the older people in the waiting room that come out and see her. Because they're not going to hide that they don't like her. Like, if they don't like her, you'll hear it. So, yeah, it means everything. And like for me, they just need to be a person of color because they experience the challenges of being in a country where we're underestimated all the time. Like even my emergency room visit in August, 2 neurologists saw me at St. Mike's. Both of them were brown skin, Indian, 1 female, 1 male. And then having them talk to my grandmother, no problem. She kind of has to listen to them. Their skin tone is our skin tone. How are you going to ignore them? And then basically they're just catching up my family on my file. It wasn't like a new thing. We knew what it was. It was just a matter of, do they give me steroid injections and send me home, which has super aggressive side effects? Or do I wait for the neurologist to see me and then they'll take over after? And the route was they refer me back to the MS clinic. My neurologist was being retired, so I had to switch to a new one. And then now she's on maternity leave. And then April, I see her on-call neurologist, who's a female doctor. And I looked her up. She's Asian. Like, I'm mostly seeing people of color, women of color neurologists right now because the universe is putting them in place. And they've all like finished U of T in like 2019, 2017. So they're fresh. I'm not getting someone who's tired about the job.
Got it. So in what ways are you already an advocate, even if you don't call yourself one? And what kind of advocacy work would you like to see the wider MS community or MS world, do with Black communities?
Well, yeah, we need more representation in Australia, UK, New Zealand, Canada. The Black community for MS is already there in the United States because they have Black MS Summit every year. Like, they already have a conference. Then We Are Illmatic, they have their conference. They're in Atlanta. Like, I have to travel to the United States to find 100% Black representation that gather data on MS. But the rest of the countries, they need to stop acting like, oh, we need more funding. Find a way to get us in the room without funding. We have all these free technologies. We have all these resources. Like, do better. Like, they always default to like they're a small organization. They don't get a lot of funding. And I'm like, Black people have been operating on no funding for forever. Like, so what are they talking about? Remember, we work for no paid labor for a whole generation.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you wish Black families, churches, and community leaders understood about MS that they often don't?
Well, for families, MS could happen to your teenagers. When I was a teenager, I could not move my left leg. My family did not believe me. So now every time I go into my neurologist and I do the neurological exam and I have to walk around and walk on my toes and walk backwards, I have a constant flashback of, I did this before, but my mom didn't want to do the more testing because I was a minor. We will grow up to hate you. Don't do that. Like, I couldn't be any more clear, because the MS population is getting younger or older. It used to be in the age bracket of 20 to 40, but now they know younger are getting it and older are getting it. And if your kid says, hey, I don't feel right, this is weird, listen to us. You're not in our body. You may have created our body, but you don't live in it. Yeah. And that goes with everywhere. Like, and then churches are not being fully accessible. Like, build your churches, add to your churches to make it accessible, so your aging population and disability population could be in the church.
Yep. Yep. Very true. Very true. What is one thing allies, meaning non-melanated people, non-Black people, clinicians, organizations, can do this MS Awareness Month to make Black people living with MS feel truly seen and supported?
Don't tell us we're so strong. We have to do that every day. Like, we're and you're a healthcare provider that claim to do no harm. Like, because what they say matters. So, like, if, like, luckily my first neurologist, he was calm, he was really relaxed, he was okay arguing with my mother. But they're not all like that. Right. I know that. There's some doctors who literally look at me like, how come I'm so smart? Why do I know that? Like, when I was in the emergency room and I brought all my notes.
How come you're so okay? That's interesting.
That's what he said to me. The on-call emergency room doctor and then the walk-in clinic doctor of like, I don't really know about MS. I go, it's okay. I've had this since 2013. Like, why? And if you're a doctor that's not there to learn your medicine or learn other parts of medicine or learn other parts of diseases, don't be a doctor. Like, why? Like, you're like, especially if you're a primary family doctor, your job is to send us to the referrals and make sure they're good. And if we report back a referral is not great, this made me uncomfortable, this one didn't listen to my notes, like when my feet were swollen, vascular surgeon didn't look at any of my notes at all. Made the assumption, oh, typically, your feet are swollen when you're pregnant. If you read my notes, I had my tubes removed in 2017. Pregnancy is not happening. There's no way that it's going to happen unless I do IVF and we go on hormones and take out eggs and put them in another person's body. If you read the notes, you would saw it. Dermatologist on my scalp, worst part, going to a white dermatologist doctor. I'm not doing that. Like, take the time to find me a brown skin dermatologist about my skin.
Okay. What have you learned about self-advocacy in medical spaces, and what advice would you give Black patients who feel dismissed or not believed?
Make sure, like, if they don't believe you, that is their problem. But make sure you said what you have to say in the room. Because you already know you're not going back to that doctor. But make sure you let them know why you're not coming back. I get it. We only have 15 minutes. We may have an hour. It's a short window. But you're not going to see them anymore if they suck. So make sure they know why they suck. They already paid for the appointment. Let them know. Even the receptionist, when I was there going to the dental surgeon and I had to remove something out of my mouth, and the lady was like, oh, you can't be here. Your insurance is ODSP. I said, let me pay for the consultation and we can figure it out after. The thing's removed out of my mouth for free. Like, they went to medicine to help people. They went into, like, why did they become a doctor? I've asked my doctor that. I asked my doctor why she wanted to be a doctor when she's doing my pap test. Put her under pressure to answer the question and perform my pap test at the same time. Especially if your primary doctor is going to be your doctor for, mine's 20 years now. She's not yet showing signs of retirement. Her children are almost grown. I don't think she's going to have any more. That means there's another 15 years or so with my family doctor that every referral she sends me to, if I do not like them, I take notes and tell her why. I don't have time to be traveling around the city to a doctor that's going to be a dick. I just don't. Like, or I go pay for a private clinic, the $4,000 a year.
Okay. Let me just put it up here. Uh, what hopes or plans are you holding on for your future? And how are you adjusting them to account for MS realistically, but not hopelessly?
Well, I focus on the things I can control. And the organization Overcoming MS, they have a 7-pillar framework of vitamin D, diet, exercise, stress management, change your life for your life, and then family and community. If my family is ignoring symptoms of other family members that could be MS, that's their problem, because all of us can have it. It just, how does it show up? How does it affect us and all that? And then, yeah, I'm more taking care of myself. I can't control a relapse. I can't predict a relapse or control a relapse, but I can control my diet, exercise, and stress management. And if I don't see family because I'm having symptoms, like in October, I couldn't move my hands and they're mad at me to not be there for Thanksgiving because I didn't want to have a spasm where I look like I'm being possessed by and I need an exorcist. Like, why would I do that to myself?
Yeah.
Like any logical person would say, oh, you should stay home. Yes. Even I walked into the church. The 2 white ladies knew there was something wrong. Because I walked in, I'm huffing and puffing. I can't take off my jacket. My hands are stuck in this weird position. Yeah. And then I'm already there. I got there. So I figured calm myself down, do what I need to do to be there and not get overheated. And I learned anytime I was overheated, I get a muscle spasm. And then I take off my sweater because I'm overheated. And my mom's worried about my tank top. I'm worried about making sure I don't have a muscle spasm. Which is more important, my tank top that shows my boobs or me have a muscle spasm? Like
Exactly.
that. I'm 41. I am tired of people trying to tell me what to do. Like, what's the purpose of being an adult if I can't make my own decisions in the way I need to that better take care of me?
I think I may have asked this, but I'll just double check. What would you say directly to a Black person who's experiencing strange symptoms and is scared and doesn't feel believed by their doctor?
You need a new doctor.
Yeah.
Like, because one, why are they your doctor if they're not going to listen to you? 2, their whole job is to piece together symptoms and find a diagnosis. Like that's their whole job. And of course, like, yes, MS is in your brain because could be lesions in your brain. So where else would it be? Everything starts in our body first, in our central nervous system and in our brain, and then it presents as symptoms. Then they need to figure out what the symptoms are. What was the point of them going to medical school and reading all those books and not to figure out symptoms? Like that, I can't be in a room with a doctor who's going to be like, oh, that's not like, no, we're coming there because there's something wrong, that we know there's something wrong to the point where we're seeing you. And do you want us to wait to go to the emergency room and then you start doing your job? Because that's the next step. If a doctor doesn't believe you when you came first with the symptoms, the next step, if it progresses for symptoms, is the emergency room. Then the emergency room says, what? Go back to your family doctor. Every appointment after the emergency room says, go back to your family doctor. Why are they wasting our time?
Gotcha.
That is the best advice I can give somebody. And then if you don't have the confidence to talk to your doctor, bring somebody who can. And then
100%.
get them to find you a new doctor because they clearly don't want to do their job. And I know it's very difficult to find a doctor, but at this point in time, your health is way more important than them telling you, I don't believe you. Like, if you don't believe me, find somebody who can. And then you can find the treatment, because MS could progress pretty quickly. We don't know why it progresses quickly. Sometimes it does. And depending on what symptoms you're having, they could leave you deformed. Like my muscle spasms in my hands. I wasn't going to mess around with that. So my doctor wasn't comfortable with one of my treatments for the muscle relaxers. I found somebody who was. Then I brought her the notes. that is what I did in December. I didn't let my doctor not prescribe me the prescription. I found a doctor who would. And then she took over. And then now I have to get her to refill all my prescriptions because the Baclofen is one doctor, the Tizanidine is another doctor, and my Quietapine is a different doctor. Like, and the pharmacist too, they're all involved. Every medical professional you're working with is involved. And then luckily, this pharmacy rotates pharmacists like 6 times a week. So I get to talk to a different one almost every day.
Okay. Minnie, I think you rocked the house today. You rocked the house. I got one more thing I want to put out there. Do you want to add anything before I add? Okay, let me just, yeah.
I mean, yeah, MS is difficult. Like it's not, because you can go from able to walk like Malta Williams on a treadmill every day on Instagram, or Christina Applegate, who doesn't get out of bed ever, but she wrote a book. It's just, and Selma Blair. Selma Blair was there at the Oscars in her dress. She is like, for people that have MS in public, none of them are the same. Even the guy from Boys to Men, he has it too. And Richard Pryor. Like, it doesn't present the same way. It only presents the same way based on the MRI scan, which you're not seeing it, and you're not lying in the machine having magnets banged on your head for an hour and told to lie still in the machine. And then hopefully you're not claustrophobic because you have to do the MRI scan almost every single year. Like mine's at midnight, the end of the month, that I have to go there and figure out how to come home and be on my MRI so that they get my results before my follow-up appointment in mid-April. That's always in my calendar of when's my next MRI, when's my next blood work, and then eat the diet and exercise to reduce the inflammation in my body so I have less flare-ups, along with the medication I'm taking, where the Mavenclad that I'm taking now, it's a cancer-like drug to knock down my T cells and B cells. And it's $3,500 a pill. Exactly.
Wow.
I'm not going into something for funsies.
Obviously not. All right. Then one last conversation piece. If you could leave viewers with one practical action to take after watching, what would that be?
You don't have to do it all in one day. I mean, certain things, yes, have to be rushed, like symptoms, senior doctor, picking a treatment plan. If you're picking a treatment plan, because I know there's some people with MS who don't do treatments, like the medications, take it one day at a time. And try not to focus on every bad thing of your symptoms, because sometimes it's not your symptoms. It's just you, the person.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. Minnie, you rocked the house today.
I sure did.
You have rocked the house today. So if you want to get in touch with Minnie, there's her link on a YouTube. Also on her social media link, which I've put twice, social media, which is an error. So I want to correct that in real time. So let me correct. I want to make sure that Minnie is represented proper here. So I did this. Just give me a second. I did this, and this is what I should have done. Okay, let me do it properly so she don't complain on me. Okay, let me just do that. All right. Okay, we've corrected it so we can represent her properly. There we go. What's next for Minnie in this journey?
Work. I can finally get back to work, which
Good.
And I'm taking advantage of me not sleeping on a regular schedule. Because
Okay.
I used to be worried about not sleeping in the nighttime. It's fine. I just need, I'll sleep eventually. It's just, it's 8 hours spaced out in a 24-hour period. And sleep will be done. It just, that is all.
Excellent. All right. So as we close it off today, as always, we just want to make sure that subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube and hit the notification button on YouTube. And if you have subscribed already, thank you very much. Please tell other people about it. And also, when you subscribe, just don't subscribe and do nothing. Watch, whether it's live on the replay, make comments. It helps the algorithm. Also, subscribe to the Dr. Vibe Show on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Substack. Join the Discord group. Email me at dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com or hit that link you see on the screen. And most of this stuff is in the comments section where you're watching replay, the ones I can control. Advertise your business, product, or service on any of the platforms I'm on. Email me dr.vibe@thedrvibeshow.com. Again, do not forget the ADNC Power Summit at the Aqua Supper Club in Toronto is July 25th from 5 p.m. to 11:30 p.m. I will be there hosting and moderating the panel. Also, I put in the comments section, we'd love you to take a 2-minute audience survey. Your voice matters. So go to the link you see on the screen. Again, it's in the comments section on most of the platforms you're watching this live on the replay. Coming up this Wednesday on the Dr. Vibe Show at 12 noon, check out me having an epic conversation with Philip Scott, founder and chief executive media architect of the African Diaspora News Channel. Coming up on Friday on the Morning Vibe, Dream to It Barnes will be talking about pre-med burnout, the research playbook secrets. What else we got here? Lots of things to read these days, but that's not a bad thing. I just got to find it. Oh, I got to find one more thing. Oh, there we go. You can get a hold of Ryan, RyanO'NeillKnight.com. That's Knight with a K-N, not an N. And if you want to get a hold of me, best place to go to taplink.cc/the drvibeshow.com. And you can watch replays of this epic conversation on the Dr. Vibe Show on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn, Afro-Caribbean Business Network on YouTube, and Ryan O'Neill Knight on YouTube. So, as always, we like to say, live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller, get stronger. Block assumptions. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy, and remember to give yourself grace. Minnie, it was great to have you back. Thank you so much for taking the time. It's appreciated.
Yeah, I'm glad I did it.
I'm glad you did too. As always, God bless. Oh, there are some comments. I want to leave them off. Okay, hold on. Okay, Dr. Tachi says, hey there, just saying hello. I'll watch the replay. Thank you, Dr. Tachi. Good to have you here. Good to have you here. Oh, so let me just say it again. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller, get stronger. Block assumptions. Aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Love, faith, and respect. Don't just manage your time, manage your energy. Remember to give yourself grace. And if you're not making money, make history. Try to do both and always make it better. God bless. Peace well. Keep the faith. Walk good. See you soon.